Welcome back as we analyze the presidential race. A quiet day today because the candidates typically take a break on a day like this on 9/11. They don't want to be divisive on a day that does bring Americans together. But we did see the issue of Hillary's health come up at a 9/11 event today. She got overheated and had to leave early. And this has gone from kind of a Drudge Report conspiracy theory website story to now a mainstream story. And is this something that her supporters will question, is her health? Would the danger of this be more that a Hillary supporter would stay home rather than shift their vote? Well, speaking of actions that Hillary Clinton has done these past few days, she's had to walk back a comment about Donald Trump's supporters. What's the fallout of this? And she used the term deplorables. And I think if I were to read into this a little bit, it would be that segment of, say, Twitter that supports Donald Trump, but then is also sending out very racist, anti-Semitic messages. But I think people also interpret it as it means a lot more than just that subset of Twitter people. And with the information from the FBI interview with her coming out on Friday, people have a lot of questions for her that she's going to probably want to start answering, I would imagine. And that's something I'm sure Donald Trump will be jumping on at some point. Now, one other thing that he's doing that not a lot of Republicans have in at least recent decades is really going strong for the African-American vote and saying essentially, well, literally in some cases, what do you have to lose by going with me? Is that something that's going to get traction? Well, it sounds like the debates are going to mean quite a bit in this race. We'll get another look at the debate schedule right after this. Yet another very eventful week politically with another email scandal coming out for Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party. Yet Donald Trump has also made a few incendiary statements yet again. I mean, we've said that almost every Sunday that we've done this show. But then you say that you're finding some vulnerability for Hillary Clinton, in particular due to some recent news events, especially in Milwaukee. And I think a lot of Trump supporters were looking forward to this stage of the campaign because they said, hey, look at how he hit all of the other Republicans. When is he going to start hitting Hillary Clinton this way? And although he does occasionally, he makes far bigger headlines for the things that he says, like the Second Amendment people this past week, for example. So is that something that he'll be able to turn around at this late stage? Evan McMullin stepped forward this week and said that he was going to be an independent candidate. Appears to be appealing to the more Republican side, the conservatives who don't trust Donald Trump on conservative issues. Is he able to make a difference, make waves here? He doesn't have any name recognition. And before we really look forward with Dr. Eric Shores, I want to take a step and look back for just a moment and go over the two conventions. We are now past the Republicans and the Democrats. I'm curious, who did themselves more favors with voters? As part of our convention coverage, we had the inside scoop from some delegates who were actually on the floor, both for the Republicans and for the Democrats. And one from Minnesota I was speaking with said that the fracture is real. The Bernie supporters do not like Clinton. They will not support her, and they are looking for another option. So as we look forward now, where did those people go? The big development tonight in Eye on Politics is a big change coming to Minnesota's nominating process. Late this evening, Governor Dayton signed a bill to change Minnesota from a caucus state to a primary state. That takes effect in 2020. Earlier in the newscast, we saw how Iowa's Republican Party is coming together behind Donald Trump. This week, we learned that co-chair of the party in Steele County, Minnesota, is stepping down because of Trump. Dave Toole says vulgar and personal attacks have no place in party politics. Welcome back now for our in-depth look at the state of the presidential race. There are good weeks, there are bad weeks, and you say Hillary Clinton had a very bad week. There was a lot of chatter this week about having the nominee for the Democratic Party be neither of the two, and that the scandals surrounding Hillary Clinton would just become so much that the party wouldn't stand for it anymore, and somebody like Joe Biden could drop in. What do you make of that scenario? Is that likely or even possible? Which, on the other opposite side of that, would be the Republican Party, which does seem to be unifying despite the efforts of the Never Trump movement. Do you think that will have any sway over the convention? Welcome back. It is time to analyze the state of the presidential race, and for that, Dr. Eric Shores is joining us again this week. This week, all eyes are on Indiana. Why has this become such a massive Super Tuesday in one state? You wonder how either party can have a come-together moment from here on out. Welcome back for Eye on Politics. We saw big victories for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in New York last week, but this was not a perfect week for Trump. The Republican frontrunner made headlines while discussing the 9/11 terror attacks in Buffalo by calling it 7/11. His campaign says it was just a slip of the tongue, but later in the week he upset many supporters by supporting transgender people choosing bathrooms of their gender identity, saying it wasn't a big deal, the North Carolina controversy. Ted Cruz jumped on his comments today, saying if Donald Trump dresses up as Hillary Clinton, he still can't go to the girls' bathroom. As we see Donald Trump moving closer to the magic number, we also see him moderating a bit in his tone. He even called Ted Cruz Senator Cruz instead of Lion Ted once.
What we see
Briefly.
Yes, very briefly.
For example, Ted Cruz, who did even worse than I'm sure he was hoping with 0 delegates out of New York.